Welcome back to week number 3 of our Get Outside series. Today we taught our throwing program. If I wanted to simulate a little bit of a longer throw, maybe go a foot above head height, and then we want that target to be like that ball is wanting to go through it. There will be 4 seams that cut the air as it goes through, hence the name 4-seam, as it spins just like that. You just want to have a little bit of a rock back, let that foot come off the ground so that then you can engage the body and you get a full throw. We have 3 goals in our throwing program. Goal number 1 we have is to establish a solid routine program for our players. Goal number 2 is to give some instruction and understanding of the drills associated with this throwing program. And goal number 3 is to get our players outside where they can do it independently. Before we start to throw, I want to show just a couple grips, as I know there's sometimes some confusion between 4-seam, 2-seam. So I just want to kind of clarify that information. You can see here the C that is formed with that horseshoe right there. When your fingers go across that C right there, that is when we are forming our 4-seamer. You can do with the C facing that way, or with the ball rolled this way, the C can be facing the other way. But regardless, that's when we have a 4-seam. When that ball is spinning through the air with the 4-seam grip, there will be 4 seams that cut the air as it goes through, hence the name 4-seam, as it spins just like that. If we grip the ball along what I refer to as what the train tracks are right here, that is a 2-seamer. You can either grip that with the train tracks, or you can grip it against the train tracks. And you can see as I throw this ball on those revolutions, there's only now 2 horizontal seams that are cutting through the air, hence the name 2-seam. Most throws in the game on defense are going to be thrown as 4-seamers because they fly straighter, hence making them fly faster. And then when we get to pitching, we probably want to start to now work on some 2-seamers, as 2-seamers will start to move, aka making it a little bit tougher to hit. Our first drill we're going to start with is our power position drill. The power position is the most critical and the most foundational position that we need to get into for every baseball throw we make. 3 major keys to our power position include: 1, with my 4-seam grip right here, that the ball is facing away from us in our power position. 2nd key, elbows at shoulder height. A lot of players, one elbow might be up, both elbows might be down. We need both elbows at shoulder height. And then 3rd key, with your feet spread, we gotta have that weight back right here so that when you do execute this throw, you have the power coming off your back side to begin with. You can't generate any power if that weight's on your front side. So from this position, you will just do a little bit of a rock back so that you're nice in here. You feel all that weight loaded on your back side, and then from here, you will then drive off the back side and then execute the throw. One thing I see a lot when I have players throw into nets closer than actual targets is that when they throw, they have a tendency to kind of stop their motion like this, right? I really want you to encourage that after you finish that throw in your power position, to go on through and hold that finish just for that brief second where everything is nice and strong. Our mindset when we're making all these throws is that we're throwing the ball through the net. Another thing I see players do is that we see the target right there. We're just kind of like throwing the ball, and we're almost like we're trying to shoot hoops, where it's just going to the net. We want that target to be like that ball is wanting to go through it, right, as opposed to it. Our next drill that we're going to do is called our rocker drill, right? So each drill on top of the power position is going to be adding momentum. This momentum in the rocker drill is now the upper body momentum. All right, so we're going to start with our feet still spread, and now our hands are going to be together. And the whole idea, premise of the drill is that we're going to rock back to our power position as our hands break up to our power position. All right, so we're just doing a little bit of a weight shift as those arms get up. And the timing of that should be the elbows get up right as the foot now gets back on the ground to go ready to throw. So still the power position right there. It's just now we're not stopping there as we transition. Super important in our rocker drill that now as we're adding our upper body momentum, that we're using our hands and breaking our hands like such as we come up to our power position. I use the analogy that we're holding 2 cups of water in our hands. With my glove right here, I'm pretending like I'm holding a cup of water with it as well, so that when we get to here, we're dumping out that water as we get to that power position. Notice in that power position, I'm dumping with my glove hand, and my right hand is dumping the water out as well. So as we're dumping the water out, I'm loading on that back side so that when I get up, I'm now ready to go and execute the throw. Our final drill for our throwing program is what I refer to as our step behind. The step behind is our way of generating now lower body momentum. We still have the foundation of the power position. We've added the arm swing to give us upper body momentum, and now we're adding the step behind to give us basically a running start into our throw. I hear a lot of players say, hey Coach Patrick, I can throw the ball that far without having to step behind. Why do I need to step behind? And my response to that is, I realize that, but we want to use our whole body and we want to get that running start into our throw, which takes stress off our arm and allows us to train how to throw harder and harder. We can only throw to some degree right here for a long time, right? That's why they've established pitch counts and those kind of things. We can throw a lot more throws as we get our step behind going that I'm just slightly demonstrating right there. So our first steps in the step behind are now we're going to start with our hands together and our feet together. Our first action is I'm going to be stepping towards my target, and then my back leg is then going to come behind right here. I like this because this keeps my hips closed, and now this left foot's going to swing out as my arms swing out to my power position and I execute the throw. So a little bit faster is going to be step, that back foot comes behind, and then we swing out and throw. And now we're going to do it walking through that motion. So it's step, step, power, and throw. And now as players get more and more comfortable with that, it's actually going to be a little bit of a jump. So it's going to be that left foot going out, and then you hop to that back foot as you go through. That whole action right there gives you that nice solid running start into your throw, takes a lot of pressure off your arm, and allows you to build up a lot of arm strength. For these step behinds, we're simulating about a 60 or 70 foot throw for our first level of our step behinds. If you don't have the ability to extend all the way back to 60 to 70 feet into your net, then I'm going to show you different ways that we can make adjustments now. Another good drill you can do is one I like in the batting cage. If you have access to one, you aim for the back net as high as you can on the back net without hitting the top. It really gives you that good thought process to keep that ball at a low trajectory with your step behinds. Now, if you don't have the ability to stretch it out at any distance, if you can get up against a net on the side of a batting cage or whatever screen access you have at your own house or a nearby field, is you can just do your power position throws straight into the net like such. Now notice when I'm doing these, that ball is going right at this trajectory right here. A lot of times when I see players do net throws, is they do it, kind of like that, where it's going more down and those kind of things. So you can do your power position drill, you can do your rocker drills into the net, and then if you have just a little bit of space, you can perform your step behind the exact same way. With the step behinds to simulate a little bit of distance, my initial step behind distance is probably right to where it goes out kind of head height. If I wanted to simulate a little bit of a longer throw, maybe go a foot above head height. And then if you want to simulate more of like a 120 foot throw, you can kind of move up the net like such at varying heights at which you're throwing your step behinds at. Again, this throwing program, super important, right? There's three main reasons why people get hurt, and that's due to poor mechanics, that's due to overthrowing, and that's due to not being properly conditioned. This throwing program helps address all three of these things because you have to throw and you have to build up that strength in that arm to allow you to go out there and execute a lot of throws. Thanks again to the town of Carrboro Recreation, Parks and Cultural Resources Department for the support of making our Get Outside series. All you need for this baseball, if you got a bucket of 10 or so, even better. If you have something to throw into, you can get your throwing program done. See you next time. Take care.